So we've had the good, we've had the bad, and now I think this is gonna be my favorite one, the people I met. I hope I didn't forget anybody. I'm gonna try to do this in order. I met Taylor, friend from Vita in April, Joe Hansen from It's Okay to Be Smart, Byron McCoy of Hide and Seek Clothing and the Friends of Friends podcast, Andrew of Gunnarolla, you might know him as Gunnarolla, Felicia Shambari, who I know because of the Friends of Friends podcast, officially turning strangers into friends, Mike Falzone, who I technically met in November, and Zoya, whose last name I don't know, but she gives great hugs, Ben, Barry, and Mike from Sorted Food, Moonshoes Patty, who I will probably forever call his whole screen name, kind of Nick Jenkins, Team Andrew, which I kind of already mentioned, but I met Andrew Wong when I saw Gunnarolla again, so I met Team Andrew. Nick from Soundly Awake and Miles J, although not really. Megan Tonjas, Sabrina from Nerdy and Quirky, Joe Beretta, of course I can't forget Barack, Rebecca, and Lauren, who, with Ashley, created a balcony people. Some of my favorite moments were when I saw Gunnarolla walking through the expo hall, and he looked like he was on his way somewhere, but I stopped him and asked for a hug anyway. He grabbed my badge and said, "Who are you?" and looked at my name and said, "I know you." That would be because he knows Matthew Gatos and I know Matthew Gatos, and he has seen me talk to Matthew Gatos on Twitter, and that was just really cool that he knew who I was. Then I got to kind of repeat that. I was in line for a panel. It's escaping me which one right now. In true nobody believes I'm an introvert fashion, I started talking to the guy sitting next to me. When we actually introduced ourselves to each other, yeah, turns out he's somebody who Matthew Gatos knows. Moonshoes Patty. It was also really cool to meet Byron McCoy. He gave me a great hug because he knew who I was. When you tweet about somebody's podcast and their clothing company quite a bit, they kind of tend to know who you are. So that was an awesome hug. I met Ben and Barry from Sorted Food at Target while they were shopping for their main stage stuff, and I was shopping for saran wrap because I used it to dye my hair and keep the dye off of all my other stuff. So I kind of whispered to Barry because I didn't want him to be recognized in Target that was like half a mile from the convention center. I don't know. I whispered to him and he kind of chuckled at that, and then he pointed out Ben, and my heart kind of skipped a beat because, yeah, total crush on that boy, which is weird because he's the only one who never has any sort of stubble or beard on the channel. And yet, yeah. I actually got to talk to the guys a little later because I went to their Q&A and then I went to their photo signing. Didn't mention the photo signings as something that was awesome in the good video, but they were. I got to talk to the guys. I got to meet Mike from Sorted Food. Ben pointed out that when Barry throws dog food at him during the Sorted Food main stage, that was my idea. I was the one to help him out with that, and Mike seemed impressed with that, and Ben seemed to not be very happy about it. And then Barry recognized that I had dyed my hair, so that was cool. Nick Jenkins, I should have stayed and actually met after his workshop, but there were a bunch of other people who were doing that, and I thought I was too cool to do it, so I didn't. He and Lindsay Doe were two of the people who I absolutely wanted to meet, and I did sit in on his workshop, but I did not officially meet him. And Lindsay, I never saw the whole weekend, so I'll have to go next year. Joe Hansen was fun to meet. I got to meet him while Katie, Alyssa, Taylor, and I were having drinks at the Hilton. I had a glitter dinosaur, although I don't think it's dinosaur on at that time, and he has reblogged my glitter stuff. He didn't even reblog it. He posted it on Tumblr, and that was really awesome. So he kind of knew who I was. It's this really cool thing when people who you admire and make stuff that you like recognize who you are because you have put yourself out there and introduced them to you. That's weird, but I think you know what I mean. So there was a lot of that this weekend for me. I wish that I had taken my camera out more and taken more selfies with people, because I think the only one that I got was when Gunnarolla got his camera out and took one with me. I could have a story for each of these people, but just in general, it was really awesome. I loved that I got to interact with everybody, tell them that I enjoyed their stuff. One person I did see several times and wish that I had said hi to was Laura, who did all the scheduling of the guests, because I thought things went really well. I wanted to give her a high five for that. I don't know that I've actually seen any content from her other than Twitter though, so I thought it might be a little weird. And she did always look like she was trying to get somebody to do something every time I saw her. Next year, Laura, if you're waiting for somebody to stop talking to a fan, I'm going to say hi to you and give you a high five because I do think it was well organized and I got to meet a whole bunch of people that I wanted to, so we've got the Catherine stamp of approval. Doesn't mean much though. If you are at all jealous of all of the people that I met, you should probably come to VidCon next year. And if you don't think that I met very many people, you should probably come to VidCon next year and try to top me. Basically, you should try to come to VidCon next year. One thing that was consistent in all of my meetings was I got to tell each of these people that I enjoy the content that they make. I am in no way trying to say that I am high and mightier than the people who are running after them screaming, but what made my interactions so great was that I actually got to say something. There's a huge difference between thank you for making something educational, I like the songs that you make, I think you're really funny, thank you for inspiring me. There's something specific about all those that's different than saying I love you or I love your stuff. Like, put something specific on it. Oh my god! I haven't even mentioned Mamrie! Huh. Alright, I met Mamrie Hart as well. There's a video that she actually took my phone and made that I will link to. It's on my daily channel. I got to tell her a story about my brother, which I stretched a little bit, but it made the interaction so much better. She's a great example. When I was telling my brother about her channel, I said she gets drunk and makes puns. Like, it's not just I love her, I love that she makes puns and I love that she's drinking. I sound like a lush. Don't just tell people that you love them. Tell them why. Tell them something about it and go tell them. Even if they look busy because they probably did a good job organizing the con. Okay, bye.